2 fantastic days. The first day, Emu Gummies, Deep Spectra, amazing things going on. Let's just call out Joseph's rap. That was amazing. I wish I could see it again because it was so good. And then, I didn't think we could top day 1, but yesterday was amazing. Jeff's announcement, Andrew's announcements, Marco's announcements, amazing. And then, who would have known Ben is an actor of the highest caliber? And I was so impressed. I'm sitting in the back with some brand partners, and I've seen this video many times, and I'm just giggling. I'm giggling the whole time, and I kind of feel like Ben might have missed his calling in life to become an actor. And then there's Mary. The amount of love that she has for us all in wanting to be more successful in our lives is overwhelming. From a brand partner's perspective, from a corporate level, she exudes love. And it's so impressive, and it's fun to be around. I love it. And today, we're also going to have a blast. Somebody's going to lose their hair. Somebody's going to lose their hair. Now, Prasad, I love you, but I got to say, this is a giggly moment for me. I mean, luckily, our corporate, luckily at corporate, we can wear hats, as you can see with Joe Walker. I, too, normally do wear a hat. So if anybody feels inclined to maybe send Prasad a hat, it is fully accepted. You can send ball caps, you can send beanies, you can send a balaclava if you would like. Anything kind of works for Prasad. So I do feel a little bit bad because in my speech I don't have those wow moments that Jeff and Andrew and Marco might have had. I don't have those amazing things because I need your help, actually. That's what I really need. So 2 years ago, I met a brand partner in Mona. He was extremely gracious and kind. We talked for a bit, and when we got to know each other, he said to me, "You're employed at Young Living for only a short time. You might be here for 2 or 10 years, but it is a short time." He said to me, "My Young Living business is different. It's a lifetime." It kind of really hit me. I realized that all of my actions affect his lifetime business. This experience changed my perspective on my job, this industry, and how much brand partners mean to our business. My plan is to be here for a long time, but you never know. As the old Jewish phrase goes, man makes plans and God laughs. No one knows where I or the rest of the team will be in years to come. That one simple insight has changed the way I think and work, and has given me a mission to seek out your opinions and insight constantly. Your voice matters. Your opinions are needed. Collaborating with you is absolutely necessary. A current example of how your voice matters is the Make a Shift script. When the script was written, the first iterations of babies interacting with toxic products were pretty intense. In fact, the visuals may have gone maybe a little too far. But with the help of Jeff, Rita, and team, we gathered a lot of feedback from brand partners, and the script evolved into what it is today. We at corporate cannot perform our jobs correctly if we don't have your input and ideas. Maybe that was my little mic drop, but I'll do a little tiny mouth mic drop. Since this is a brand discussion, let's talk about your own personal brand. Raise your hand if you believe you have a brand. You better be raising your hand right now because your personality is your brand. Whatever you wear, how you talk, everything about you is a representation of who you are, and it becomes your brand. And you have to love your brand. All right, can I get a beat? A fun one, something that we can dance to. It is the morning, so we kind of need to get the energy started, but start dancing, get up out of your chairs, and start dancing if you believe you have a fantastic brand. Now, I hope you're all dancing right now, and I'm looking, Colby, that's a really good move. Keep that up. Mary, I need a little tail feather. There we go, she's going. I love that brand. Nice. Oh my gosh, I don't know who's doing this right over here, but that brand is fantastic. That is a fantastic brand. Now, I have to say, happy is infectious. And we need more of that. Our personalities, which are our brands, need to incorporate certain qualities to make us successful, to help us grow. And one of them is happiness. We need happiness in our life. Yes, you should be giving yourself a round of applause because it's so important. Another is knowledge. Gary was constantly curious and searching for knowledge. There are so many of you that are currently well educated in our products and lifestyle, and it's so impressive. Your personalities mixed with knowledge create a brand experience for future customers. And let me back up here. Brand isn't just a logo. It's not just a color or a message. It's actually an emotional experience. Your personalities combined with knowledge create your brand that will bring communities together with growth and love. That's what Gary used to do. And you are each an extension of his knowledge and community mindfulness. All right, who knows Chad and Eric? Or I said Eric, Ed, I meant. My apologies. Ed, apologies about that. I don't know why I said Eric. Chad and Eric. Okay, I'm glad I said it again, didn't I? Yeah, that was not a tiny little mic drop. Chad and Ed, apologize again. I owe you kombucha or something, I don't know. Because I see him drinking kombucha. Anyway, okay, I'm stopping. If you don't know these two, you have to get to know them. They are our educators. These two will elevate your brand with knowledge, education, and love for the product. Your brand will become irresistible. Okay, who's excited about Seeds of Time? Yeah! Okay, I love it. So here you might know them as amazing swag, stuff that will only help out your drip, but our own Lindy Smith, who we all love, is behind this, and she is going to help us grow our own personal brands with knowledge and education as well as the drip. We're very excited to be partnering with Seeds of Time, so let's give it up for Lindy Smith, for Seeds of Time. Okay, here's the tricky part. Oils and the rest of our product line take time to understand. Oils take time to learn. I'm still learning. Deep Spectra is a fine example of this. We're still in research phase. But to quote Gary, the pros are the pros because they're the best at the basics. When we start conversations with others, our messaging needs to be simple, basic, and emotional. The name Make a Shift references a simple way to make a change. It's a message that takes the customer to a beginning stage of a lifestyle, to change simple habits for the better. This message is very quick, it's easy, and it is memorable. It's a fantastic place for us all to start. Over the next 2 years, we plan on refreshing the Young Living brand positioning, and brand. Our goal is to simplify. We understand that any changes we make to the brand will affect your business, so when Young Living shifts, you need to be able to shift as well. Which could be like a really cool song like, "When I shift, you shift, we shift. Put your hand upon my hip." Do you want to sing it with me? All right, 1, 2, 3. When I shift, you shift, we shift. Put your hand upon my hip. That was really weak sauce. I mean, I'm putting myself out here doing a little hip dance, and then you guys are sitting back going, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Feel free to join in whenever you want. We're going to do it on the count of 3 here. 1, 2, 3. When I shift, you shift, we shift. Put your hand up on my hip. Thank you. Honestly, those 3 need to be... Let's give it a round of applause just for those 3. The rest of you, I don't know. You are going to be part of the brand refresh journey because your personal brands are the heartbeat of this company. If we look at the Seed to Seal website that just launched, we can start to see how we're simplifying and leading with emotion. So we take care of all the details so our customers don't have to. We take on the complicated to give our customers peace of mind with every drop. The customer in this situation becomes the hero. Seed, soil, water, sun. A simple message that is fun and easy to remember. Meet the guardians of Seed to Seal. We use the word guardians instead of farmers because we believe that guardians to the farm are what caretakers are to the home. Caretakers and guardians have the same nurturing and protective values and behaviors that we can use in our marketing language. It's common ground. Who has gone to the research booth to take the survey questions? Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Here's some really fun insights. First off, you're very diverse. There are some very complicated answers that are going to be very fun for all of us to sift through. The other insight is you're extremely passionate, which is so amazing. You're giving us real answers. I also have to compliment our tech-like community. They have been participating. And I just want to say, your voice matters. We need all voices here. So please, if you haven't gone to the research booth, please make it a priority because we need your voice. And the last insight is, after you take these surveys and polls, you're saying to us, thank you. Which, if I kind of dissect it, I go, you just took your own time to take a poll, and you're telling me thank you? Very odd, because I should be thanking you, because we need your voice. At the research booth, we've been testing these 3 Young Living truths. These ownable truths are customer-focused subjects that are relevant to the market. Our goal is collect data from you at the research booth to see which truths resonate best to create brand positioning and brand messaging with. We need your voice. Can't say it enough. And if you don't have the time to take these surveys, we'll send out a revised survey once we gather the data. So, what's the difference between brand positioning and brand? Think of it this way. What location is to the real estate industry, brand positioning is to the branding industry. Even if color, design, messaging, quality, usability, and cohesiveness are perfect, if you're in a bad location or mispositioned, you're never going to compete in the big leagues. Brand positioning will allow us to be unique in the market and stand out in seconds. If we use the location comparison for brand positioning, once people find us, they step inside the store and experience the brand. They engage with the brand and understand its stories through emotional and special interactions, websites, email flows, social platforms, and your brand. All of this unites us and creates a brand experience. If we're not unified, if your brand and corporate brand are not unified, there is no brand experience. If your message is slightly different than a corporate message, it's difficult for the customer to understand the brand. While we gather data to understand brand positioning and brand, we've created the Make a Shift message, campaign, and kit. It's about switching to natural and healthy products, which is one of our truths. It's a customer message to make simple steps towards a healthier lifestyle. If we look at the core principles that led Gary to create Young Living, it was the idea that he knew nature had what it takes to live a better life. So I ask, while we gather data, branding data, can we all use Make a Shift as our mission statement? Can we use this as our mission statement? Can we unify your personal brand with our corporate brand to have one voice? Secondly, a marketing rule most of us know is that we need to hear the same message about 7 times for it to impact hearts and minds. It's kind of like watering a seed to take root. To help you water the seed, we've created some social shareables for the Make a Shift campaign that you can download here. Now, it looks like there's only 2, but there's actually 3 folders, quite a few, and you can download them. You can either use them or adapt them to your own personal message. So together, we can achieve 7-time message for future customers. I'm going to end here. Together, let's strengthen our brand positioning as the leader in healthy plant-based products. We hope that you make the Make a Shift seed. We hope that you plant the Make a Shift seed in as many places as possible and water it with your personal brand. Let's grow together. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Director, Special Projects, John Wetton.
I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like someone. I'll be riding
Wow. Wow, thank you. That was amazing. Yeah, my name is John Wetton. I'm the Director of Special Projects, which is the best title in Young Living because it means that I can do anything. But that also might mean that I'm required to do anything. So today, I want to share a story with you. It's a bit of a personal journey, but I also want to share with you some things that I've learned from Gary. In fact, on Wednesday, we were over here setting up, and I was headed back to the hotel in the evening, and I was just getting ready to cross the street. And there was a lady that looked over at me. She said, "Oh, hi." And I said, "Hello, do I know you?" And she said, "No, but I know who you are." She's like, "You're the guy you're like that guy. The guy that like has all the stories about Gary." And that really warmed my heart. So, but the story that I want to tell you today basically begins at the time of Gary's passing. At that time, I had worked for Young Living for 10 years, and for 9 of those years, I had been Gary's traveling assistant. So I'd been all over the world with him. And 40-something countries, and and a lot of my life was tied up in Gary's life. And so when Gary was gone, I felt a bit lost. And my primary concern was that I was going to lose my job. And all of us have insecurities, and I'm just trying to be a little bit raw and vulnerable with you. And I honestly didn't know if I would continue to have a place in Young Living. But I really, really liked my job, and I really wanted to continue to work for Young Living. So I came up with a plan. I thought, if I just stay really, really busy, nobody will notice that I don't have anything to do because now that Gary's gone, right? Which is kind of ridiculous now that I think about it. But that was my plan. So the first project that I set my sights on was this closet full of old videotapes. And I knew what was on these videotapes. I knew that it was a record, an archive of Young Living's history. And I didn't really think about what might be on those tapes. Mostly I thought, this is going to take me at least a year, and I can secure my employment for the next year. Anyway, so I'm just going to show you a couple of photos here. We have like 400 or something VHS tapes in the archive, several hundred of these 8mm tapes. Who has family memories on tapes like this? Yeah. There's also mini DV. A lot of people probably use mini DV. We have some professional tape formats, Betacam, also some digital professional formats, DVCam, DVC Pro, DVC Pro HD, and also a lot of audio tape. So you might wonder, well, what is on all of this tape? Well, I can tell you that sifting through it is a bit like gold mining. There's just a lot of random stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of just people talking, Gary talking, a lot of meetings. But every once in a while, you come across real gems, actual gold nuggets. And so in this presentation, I'm going to show you a couple of gems that I have unearthed. But also, over the process of listening to these hundreds and hundreds of hours of Gary talking, I have learned something new. I've learned something new about Gary and from Gary that I never imagined, which is fun because I thought I knew Gary pretty well, and yet to be able to come back and learn something, particularly from the younger version of Gary, was really fun for me. But to start off, Gary was really good at working hard and playing hard. So this first video is just a real fun one, so let's watch that. So, you may have seen some of these videos before. In fact, I gave roughly the same presentation at the APAC convention. And after the convention was over with, Ben said, "Hey, I want your videos. I'm going to post them to Facebook." And I thought that was great because, yeah. I thought that was great because I thought, okay, if Ben has posted all these videos, then I don't have to give this presentation. But that didn't work out. But yeah, we are working on, Ben has a plan to try and release one of these gems from the video archive every week. So if you're not plugged in, if you're not plugged in to get those, it sounds like there's a lot of people in this room that know how to watch them. So, all right. So, really, what I want to talk about today is what was Gary's greatest skill? Because this is something that I learned from watching all this video. We often think of Gary as having many titles or wearing many hats. Things like farmer, distiller, scientist, oil formulator, things like that. But from watching all of this video, I realized that Gary's most important title, his greatest skill, is something that no one was talking about. And so I don't want to just come out and tell you what that is. I want to try to take you down the path and see if you can't discover some of this for yourself. So I have a total of 4 videos that I want to show you. I'm going to show them to you in chronological order. The first 3 are from the early archives, and then there's a special video at the end. So just want you to think about what was Gary's greatest skill. So the first video that I want to show you is from 1988. These first 3 videos were all from before Mary even met Gary. And so 1988, let's go ahead and watch this video.
So it's really great when you feel good, when you feel alive. Now, I didn't feel that way a few weeks ago. In fact, when I was here in December, my energy was very low, and some of you might have noticed that. It was low for me. And I had to push myself. I had to remind myself at 5 o'clock in the morning it was time to get up and get going. And now it's jump out of bed at 4 o'clock and get on with the day. And you're excited about getting up, and you're excited about being alive, and you're excited about doing something that day. And, that's the way we all should be, and the way we should live, in my opinion, is we should be excited about getting out of bed, because if you're in bed, you're not doing anything productive unless you've got some real constructive dreaming going on. And then you can keep that going. So that's important, too. But you can always continue that the next night, But if you're laying in bed because you're exhausted, you're not doing anything constructive for you or anyone else. And the best way to be totally alive is in serving other people. The best way to heal yourself is by helping your fellow man. And you can't do that by laying in bed feeling sick. True or false? Okay? So learn how to feel good, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I take a few things away from this video. The first is that feeling good is often a choice. It's something that we have to work towards. And the second thing is Gary makes it very important that serving your fellow man is important to him. So let's go ahead and watch this next video. It's from 1990.
And folks, what I want y'all to know, and I'm sure you do, is that we live by miracles every instant of our life. And when we look at the plant, and we look at the creation, and we look at ourselves, we can't help but know that we live in a constant state of miracles. That we are a miracle every moment that we breathe. Every moment that we have a heartbeat, we are a walking, living miracle. God created us, and He also blessed us to live in knowing that we're entitled to miracles every moment of our lives. He created us to be an example of who He is. Health, love, peace, and prosperity. And there's so many beautiful things that you can do to enhance your life and create what you want to have out of your life. Young living is just one way that maybe some of you will choose to do that. I would love to see all of you choose to do it because of the direction that we're going and what we're doing. You know, the things that we're sharing is not just what it's all about, but young living is about education, teaching you how to be a better you, if that's your desire.
Teaching you how to be a better you, if that's your desire. Gary makes it very clear that he's just inviting people. This is just one way. Young living is just one way to better your life. And so just keep all of these little points in your mind. I think I have one more video from 1991.
Well, because I have people ask me, well, how can you introduce people to Young Living? How do you sell it? And I said, if you're selling it, then you're not doing it the right way. Because you don't sell Young Living. You simply just share the love. I mean, if you carry the flame of Young Living, you carry the love. You carry the torch of love, and that's all you share is just that love. And it ignites anything within a 200-mile radius of you if you got that flame.
I chose this video long before Ignite Your Journey was was our convention theme. So it's really fun that Gary used that word ignite. You just simply share the love. Young Living is to be shared. You don't sell it. From the video archive, this is it's almost impossible for me to portray the hundreds and hundreds of small meetings that Gary gave over the years, especially starting out. These were tiny meetings. People would show up. I'm guessing there would be 20, 30, maybe 40 or 50 people in the audience at the most. But the video record shows that Gary traveled all over the country, Canada, and then obviously began to travel internationally. There's no way for me to portray that, but what I did want, because the camera is just pointing at Gary, you can't see the audience, but you can tell that the audience is small. And so instead, I just want to show a couple of more recent photos of Gary with small groups, because I really just want to have you think about how Gary interacted with people. This is probably around 2009. This is at the Highland Flats farm before the tent camp was built. And there's Gary having breakfast with everyone. This is Gary giving a lecture. It's probably during winter harvest at the St. Mary's Lodge. And so he would have been trucking chips from the Highland Flats farm down to St. Mary's, and so there's people working up at Highland Flats and people also working down at St. Mary's. But he took the time in the afternoon to talk to the members who were down at St. Mary's running the distillery and share with them his message. Just a few people. This is from the Highland Flats Reforestation Week, or Tree Planting Week. Silver Retreat. I think this is maybe 2012. Just a small group in the St. Mary's Lodge. This is after a long day of work at the Highland Flats farm. This is probably after the distillery was built, so they were no longer trucking chips down to St. Mary's, so everybody that was working the entire process would have been at the Highland Flats farm. This is from the early 2000s, Gary with members in France. Also from the different trip, early 2000s. Building the Northern Lights distillery. Putting on chains at Highland Flats, getting ready to truck chips down to St. Mary's. Some of these are like, where's Waldo? Because Gary's kind of hard to see. You know, he's just every man's man, right? Mary's in this shot along with Jacob. But this is harvesting Melissa at the St. Mary's Farm, probably 2013. I think this is Gary driving the forklift to install the distillation chamber at the Highland Flats Farm. Yeah, logging trees at Highland Flats. You really have to look for Gary. Okay, so as I was I've already shown you this photo, but as I was putting this presentation together, this whole thing kind of came together organically. I noticed something fun. So there's only 2 photos that have the screen in them. This one and then also this one. And so if we zoom in on these, Gary's talking about attitude and talent, great tools for leadership. And then also transformation, transforming the new you. A lot of times people think about Gary teaching about product, but I feel like most of the time, or at least a majority of the time, what Gary was talking about was not product. He was talking about self-improvement. He was talking about how do we become better versions of ourselves. And that reminded me that when I first started at Young Living in 2008, I was working in the labeling department. And so I helped to kind of do the graphic design for the labels. And I remember very distinctly the first time I saw this product, and I thought to myself, what a ridiculous name for a product. And the reason I bring that up is because I only thought it was ridiculous because I didn't realize what Gary was doing. I was familiar with products that you could buy at a pharmacy, products that had a very specific name for maybe an ache or a pain or something like that. And so I just couldn't understand how a product with a name like Highest Potential would fit into anyone's life. But like I said, that is before I realized what Gary was doing. Really what Gary was doing was teaching all of us how to become the best version of ourselves. So I come back to this question: what was Gary's greatest skill? And from watching all of this video, the answer that I have come up with is this: community builder. I have one more video to share with you. Sorry. This was... Thank you. I thought I would get teared up afterward. This is a video of Gary's very last public appearance. And I know that many of you have seen it before, but let's watch it all together again.
I have an announcement I want to make. We are a growing company, and the demands of our growth is getting bigger and bigger every day. Now, he asked me before Christmas, he says, Gary, will you okay a press release to our distributors of what we accomplished in 2017? And I said, yes, you can do a press release. I said, but what do you want to put out there? He said, well, I want to tell our distributors the numbers in our press release. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. But here's where I'm at. We, Young Living, are not about bragging about financial gain. We're about bragging about helping people. Our financial brag is building houses in Nepal Our financial brag is helping the school and the clinic in Uganda. Our financial brag is our schools in Mexico, our schools in Ecuador, the earthquake relief in Ecuador. And what we did, I wish for all of you to just wrap your arms around each other and give yourselves a hug, because what you all did collectively in helping Houston, helping Puerto Rico, helping Florida, Mexico, to allow us to function in a greater capacity in the relief efforts of these countries and the people that lost lives and lost businesses and lost hope. You know, Young Living was one of the first responders on all of these sites. And it was because of each one of you made that happen. That's what I want you to be proud of. And I want you to brag about. Bragging about a dollar and a number and a decimal, that isn't who we are. We're about helping people. And I hope that you forgive me for having that attitude, but that's my position. You know, I brag about our accomplishments, and dollars are not an accomplishment for me. Dollars are a tool to get to the accomplishment. So that's why I really hold to the accomplishment. That's what makes us shine. 5 years down the road now, nobody will remember what we did in dollars in 2017, but people will still be bragging about our accomplishment. Doesn't that make a lot more sense and have a lot more value? Folks, that's what has made Young Living who we are. And that's what makes us proud to be who we are, not a number on a whiteboard.
I've shown you 3 of the earliest video clips that I have of Gary. I've also shown you a clip from Gary's very last public appearance. And what is crystal clear to me is that across this 30-year span, Gary painted a picture that he and Young Living were about helping people. If we were somehow able to magically summon Gary to speak to us for 2 minutes, I think that he would make 2 points. And the first point is that life does not come with any guarantees. Gary grew up as a farmer and a rancher, and I think that people who come from farming communities have a natural proclivity for positivity because they live so close to Mother Nature. And just as Mother Nature giveth, Mother Nature taketh away. And so they don't really have any choice but to be positive, because any other attitude would cause paralysis. Many of us live much more distant from nature and in the cities, and I think it's easier to forget that life does not come with any guarantees. And so I think that's why Gary would remind us that everything is a choice. It's a choice to grow. It's a choice to work hard. But most importantly, it's worth it. The second point that Gary would remind us of is simply that Young Living is a community. Yes, Young Living is also a company that has legal frameworks and financial incentives, but at our core, at our heart, our foundational principles, our founding principles, Young Living is a community. Gary left us with an amazing set of tools to become better people. Tools with names like valor, highest potential, harmony, gathering, hope, forgiveness. But most importantly, Gary left us with a community that can help foster all of us to grow and become better people. This basically sums up the entirety of the point I'm trying to get across. Communities are built, not joined. Gary was a force of nature. He was our primary community builder. And even though he's no longer with us, we are not lost because we have each other. Every one of us, every one of you is a community builder. That's already a fact. I'm just reminding you. I used to think of Gary as a farmer. But over the last few years, my thoughts about this have shifted a little bit. I realize now that farming was just a side gig for Gary. Gary's main gig was gardening. Gary was growing people. And I, for one, will always be grateful for the things that I learned from Gary and the way that my life was blessed from knowing him. Thank you for all. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your attention. But most of all, thank you for building our Young Living community.
I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Executive Director, Experience YL, Luba Vozarova.
This is the good fight. This is the good fight. Hey, this is the
Good morning, everyone. How is everybody doing? My name is Luba Vozar. I am the Executive Director of Experience Young Living, and I'm so humbled to be here in the line of the all wonderful speakers. They are pouring their hearts out to you and sharing their experience, love for everything Young Living. I am with Young Living for almost 13 years, and It was a great journey. When I came first time to the building, I met in the foyer of the building some couple, and somebody introduced me to them. And the man just stood up and hugged me and kissed me on the cheeks, and I'm like, who is this guy? But it was Gary Young, and I learned so fast about his humanity, about his work ethics, integrity, and mainly about his love for all of you, for all of us, about his goals, about his vision to bring all the essential oil, all the wonderful plants and nature richness to every home. I was privileged really to know him and work on some of the project with him. But when you shook his hands, those were not the hands of the man working and sitting in the beautiful office. Those were the hands of the hard-working man. He spent the times on the farms, traveling the jungles, talking to the people, learning from the natives, with one goal in his mind, to bring the best to all of us. And for all of us, it's probably the main goal for you and me to continue in his vision. And as John said, to build a community of like-minded people, to people that have dream and goal to continue in his steps. Young Living Experience Young Living is built on the legacy of the beauty school. How many of you knew or heard about the beauty school? Yeah. Beauty school is connected with the beauty, and mostly the name is connected with women. However, we want to extend the invitation to everybody to come and learn about not only the products, not only about benefits of the product and how to build the business, but also how to be strong, how to be confident in themselves, and support each other. I am so touched when somebody talks to me here or meet me at the hall and is thanking me for some little piece what helped from us to help him to achieve their goals or put the strength in their soul to go after their goals. It is so challenging to be here and talk about the past of the beauty school, how important it is to everybody. And I am very humbled to see so many faces that are coming to me and telling me, yeah, I met you in Chicago in 2015, and I just want to apologize. I cannot remember all the names, but I remember the faces. Experience Young Living was built really on the legacy of something what touched so many people. It is built on building the connection and vision of closer to the corporate vision of Young Living, and it's really important to extend this invitation to everybody and not building the love for Young Living only on the personal care or nutrition. It is really building the strong community of women and men who have the dream continuing in Gary's plan. We will continue with under Experience Young Living at the product education. We will have the stronger connection with all of you, and we will also build and bring inclusive topics that are interesting for everybody. For example, we can bring the topics about health and nutrition. We will build our events around mother and daughter discussions, build the topics around yoga involvement or fitness. Of course, the main growth will be all the products what Young Living is offering to you. We will be continuing in our virtual or live events. Some people love to come to the live events, and I strongly believe the live events are irreplaceable with the virtual events, because meeting each other, supporting each other, and pushing each other to do the best, it's something what you can do through the virtual event. When we are little, or we have our daughters, we are showering them with the prize, telling them how beautiful they are, how talented, how powerful they can be, and then in certain age we stop doing it. So I was happy to build and push through our events this building of the connectivity and building the confidence in themselves. Let me tell you a story. After my presentation at the former beauty school, now Experience Young Living, I was talking about how important it is to believe in yourself, how important it is to know that you are beautiful from inside out, and how this beauty from inside is connected with how you look. So I was finishing the presentation, I went to the elevator, and I was thinking to myself, This is theory. This is what I'm talking from the stage. I met two elderly women in the elevator, and they were just standing at the corner, heads down, and I was thinking, try to do something different. So I just told them, you are so beautiful. I love your necklace and your hair. Oh my gosh, this is just lifting you up. And those two women just lit up, smile, start talking and thanking me, and I'm like, oh, maybe I overdid it. But it was fantastic feeling that with one word or two words, you can change the perspective about yourself. And I am really challenging you to do this to your neighbors, to the people what you don't even know, and say something nice to them, because you never know how can you help the other person. Maybe at a specific time they need exactly this. They need exactly to push on their back to keep them going. And this is what Gary was dreaming about, to building the community where they are supporting each other. I love virtual events. For somebody, it's the fantastic opportunity to go and watch again and again and remember and repeat what we are talking about in the peaceful surrounding in their own house. I also love events on Young Living Farms. I so believe in my heart that Young Living Farms are hearts on Young Living Company. Everybody should come to the farm to understand or maybe find the answer for their question, why I am with Young Living. What is there for me? If somebody is asking me what is my favorite Young Living farm, that's a dangerous question, and it's very hard to say which one. But in my heart, Highland Flats is the favorite part of mine, and maybe because I love the pine trees, I love the nature and the fresh air over there. And maybe because it was the first time when I attended the farm, and Gary was kind of like driving me from the airport to the farm, and I listened to his talk to his wife, Mary, and to kids on the phone from the car, and I was thinking, this is a genius guy, so well-known, a celebrity, and he's so down to earth, talking on the phone to Jacob and Joseph and asking them, how was your school today, son? It was just amazing. It just opened my heart to this family, understanding they are normal people. They are nothing special in their own life. They are somebody who have to admire. They are somebody you have to follow, you have to love. This farm was my first farm, and I just love it to come over there. However, a lot of farms are beautiful, and I wish I can go to every farm and have our events experience Young Living on it. I have prepared a little bit list and invitation to the events, some on the farms, some live, and some virtual, to come and join us to build the strong community together. Our first one, of course, is on Highland Flats. It's called glamping, and it's the glamorous camping under the trees. Don't be scared. We have cabins over there. And it is scheduled and planned for August 23 to 26, and it's also included visit to other famous farm, St. Mary's Lavender Farm. We have included one-day workshop on on September 30th, and these workshops will prepare you, your body, your beautiful faces for upcoming winter, suggesting products, what to use, and what to do for the holidays. We have included October 18 virtual product training and fantastic 2 events on some exotic places in Ecuador on Finca Botanica farm. One is scheduled for the November 7-11, and the other one, what I will talk a little bit later, it's scheduled for December. We want to finish with the event what is also very close to our heart in Zermatt Resort Midway in Utah, December 1st, 2nd. This was the place where Gary Young talked the last time publicly. I know that people remember this speech. Sometimes I am like running the amateur-made video from him to say, but it is something what is very touchy, and this place has a special place in our hearts. Let me introduce you, if you've never been to Ecuador, Nova Vita Health and Wellness Center, which we want to promote and show you the opportunity to come over there and enjoy our own exclusive spa. How many people went to Ecuador and visited the Nova Vita Spa? Wow. For everybody else, door is open, invitation is there. I was first time visiting Nova Vita and Finca Botanica farm this March. I had no idea what to expect. I was imagining some jungle, bushes, you know, the hard to walk, hard to talk, hard to eat. And I was overwhelmed with the beauty, with the scent of ylang flowers just surrounding you, with the people over there. But I was always thinking, this is now. How was it when Gary and Mary came over there? How was it when Gary looked through those jungle forests, and how come he saw this beauty about those jungles and dirt and darkness and everything? How can he see this? So let me introduce you or show you some pictures how I imagine when he came to Ecuador, this is what he was expecting. Just beautiful nature, hard to go through. Gary trying to find the plants, talking to the native people, probably, you know, understanding the history and culture, fighting the climate. Probably we are going to the Ecuador, to Nova Vita, and thinking, it is luxurious, but look at this part of the building it. I don't even want to imagine pushing the car through this mud and trying to overcome everything, traveling through the Amazon River, and again, talking to the people, learning about the plants, and bringing the best ever to all of us. And then the courage to bringing the family to Ecuador with 2 little kids and inviting everybody to come and help him to build his dream. I'm sure it was not easy, and it's just not everybody can do it. But I am sure when Gary stepped on the ground of this beautiful part of the earth, he saw what can be done over there. And then, of course, I am still in awe of the ylang on the farm over there, just walking through those bushes and being just in, oh, it's so beautiful here. The scent is amazing. So if you have nothing else to do, you have to schedule your trip to the Ecuador and to Nova Vita Health and Wellness Farm. How to put it together? It is exotic location. It has wonderful professional staff, what they are there to help you, to take care about you. The spa is using essential oils from Finca Botanica, my favorite ylang, and I believe it was also Gary's ylang, because just think about all the products with ylang on it. I think it was his favorite, and it is for us to promote the farm and use the essential oils from those farms. What I was impressed, it's the food over there. You know, everybody over there is using their own grown products, preparing their own meals, and I was like, can we get some bread? And the guy cooking, he said, nope, Gary didn't say this. This is cooked according to his recipes and suggestions. So I'm like, okay. But it was fantastic meals, and I just love it over there. It has a spa, a pool, a gym, you know, just walking over there through the place is just amazing. And what about Young Living Academy? This is something so touchy that for me it's very hard to explain. Talking to the kids, so happy and having their goals in their hands and dreams fulfilled because of Gary and Mary building it and allowing it, it's just something what it's hard to explain. You have to go there, you have to see it, you have to talk to them, and you have to just put it in your hearts. Let me show you also a little bit about our preparing trip, what is in November. I'm so sorry. We opened the registration for November Experience Young Living on Finca Botanica farm in Nova Vita 2 weeks ago. We are filled for the people for the people staying on the farm. It's 48 people can stay in the bungalows. I'm sure Mary is now thinking, let's build more, and I will support this because people want to. Everybody else, invitation is still open. Everybody else probably will have to stay with the hotels nearby, but we are not closing the registration. We want everybody to come and enjoy this beautiful place. We are preparing the daily activities. You can have the optional raindrop master class, of course, nutrition, oils, skincare, personal care, building the strength in you presentation with wonderful speakers waiting just for you to share and pour the information to you. And who will not want to be pampered on the spa? Just imagine lying down and somebody is massaging your face, giving the raindrops. So just think about this. Invitation and door is open. We have prepared, because the first event in November is so not a lot of people can come. We have prepared an incentive retreat promotion, which will be running through July 1st, September 30th, and winners, according to the criteria from all over the world, will have all expenses paid by Young Living. What are the details? We will send all the criteria and information on Tuesday that you can learn and you can see if it's something for you. But criteria will be judged by sales to the new customers and brand partners, customer and brand partners loyalty, growth in the rank, personal enrollee growth in the rank maintenance. All those criteria will be pointed, and the people with the most points achieved will have luxurious treatment 4 days at Nova Vita in the Spa, Wealth, and Wellness Center. Just come and try to win. We are preparing beautiful program. You will be pampered, you will learn, you will have daily wellness plan, you will get welcome kit, you will exercise, meditate, relax, and get strong to the future, building the goal of Young Living. It is for me, I have many words how to do the invitation for you, but I think the best invitation will come from the owners of this, inviting you all to come to St. Mary's Lavender Farm. I strongly believe that the words, what they are both saying, is so open to invite you to all the farms. So let's watch the invitation from our own loved owners of the company, Gary and Mary Young.
When you come here in the summertime, you experience the beauty of the morning like we are now. It's so fresh and so quiet. I think St. Mary's represents the foundation of Young Living because here is where it really started. And be able to have wonderful home-cooked meals and sleep in tents out here on the lawn and get up early and run out into the fields and smell the fragrance of the oils of the plants. I would strongly recommend that everyone come and have the experience at least once so you can really see what it's like.
Welcome to the Young Living Lavender Farm here in the Benewah Valley in the magnificent Panhandle in northern Idaho near St. Mary's. We're here for our lavender harvest. Some of the activities and amenities that we have that you'll really enjoy here is we have a lodge that will seat 100 people. We have a great kitchen, men and women's bathrooms and showers. We have cabins, RV hookups, and some of the activities we enjoy outside of actually working in the field. And this is a grand opportunity. We take the people and let them enjoy participating in the harvest and in the distillation down in the distillery. And that's really an exciting time to load the cookers and to close the lids and put the steam in and then watch the oil come boiling up in the separators. You know, there's classes at night and education about aromatherapy. We also have cooking classes with the oils and learning how to cook with organic foods. We do whitewater rafting on the famous St. Joe River, and horseback riding, trail rides. There's just multiple things that you can do here at the farm, and evening barbecues and entertainment. We extend a welcome from Mary and I to all of you to come and participate in the second largest aromatic farm in all of the North American continent.
Experience a wonderful new kind of family adventure.
Thank you so much for listening to me. Open invitation to all the farms, and let's build Young Living together. Let's build this community together and support each other. Thank you.
This is the good fight. This is the good fight. Hey, this is the good fight.
Knows we got some tricks up our sleeve. Magic.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Director of Philanthropy, the D, Gary Young, Young Living Foundation, Arturo Fuentes.
Now shine on, cause we're made from the stars. You got that magic.
Good morning, my dear family. Make sure my PowerPoint's working. So, 8 years ago, I was living and working in Nepal at a shelter for abandoned and exploited children. And I met a young man there. His name was Manav. Manav was found living in the streets of the Himalayan region of Nepal when he was about 10 years old. He was also caring for his younger brother, who we think was about 5 years old at the time. Both boys were severely malnourished, and Manav says to keep his brother from starving, he would sometimes have to feed him small insects and worms. The boys were brought to our facility where they started to receive proper aftercare treatment. Our therapist suspected that the boys might have witnessed their mother's suicide. Fast forward several years later, I'm back at this facility, and Manav is still living there. By now, he was enrolled in public school, and around that time, the state's final examination scores came in. Out of his school of over 400 students, Manav placed number 1, ranking top student. His younger brother, however, because of the extreme malnourishment he experienced at such formative years, will experience significant intellectual disability for the rest of his life. Now, I share Manav's story and that of his brothers to illustrate what I refer to as this conundrum of contrast, where the lottery of birth assigns children around the world life circumstances that will, in large part, determine the options and the opportunities they get to have in life. Manav and his brother reminds me the talent is universal, but opportunity isn't. I've seen brilliance, gifts, innovation existing in some of the most overlooked places on our planet: overcrowded slums, displacement camps, orphanages. This has taught me that poverty is complicated and we can run into problems when trying to define it. So this is how we define it here at the Young Living Foundation. Poverty is not a lack of talent, it's not a lack of brilliance, ambition, and it's certainly not a lack of hard work. What poverty is a lack of choices and a lack of opportunity. Manav's little brother, for example, his experiences will now determine the opportunities he'll get the rest of his life. And he's not alone, because this year, about half of the world's children will be born into conditions with major strikes against them. There's some locations where being a girl is still considered a handicap. There are some zip codes here in the United States where if you're a boy growing up there, you're statistically more likely to end up in prison than in college. And still today, the biggest predictor of who ends up poor is simply who is born poor. So here lies our role as a foundation: to intervene on behalf of those born into difficulty and do our best to provide them with their basic needs. And here's the magic that we see: that when basic needs are met, people create and people dream. And I like to see us as a foundation as being in the business of helping people dream again. Thanks. This year's convention theme is Ignite Your Journey. And a lot of my words today will be based on gratitude to you for what you've helped us accomplish, and how your contributions and even your mere affiliation with Young Living as a company has, in a real way, helped ignite others' journeys in some of the darkest parts of our world. In 2020, we launched our first of 3 Young Living Foundation oil blends, One Heart. This label, many of you know, was designed by this little lady, a student at our Young Living Academy. She joined the school in 5th grade, where she tapped into her passion of graphic design. She became a first-generation high school graduate. In a community where at the time, roughly only 30% of children graduated high school. Her mother, who was a farm worker, inspired by her kids' academic success, ended up enrolling back in high school and graduating after this. She's now graduated college, and her excellence in internships landed her a career as a graphic design artist. The one, and I think her sponsors might be here. You can scream. Oh, there she is, Sarah. Thank you for sponsoring her. The One Heart Oil Blend embodies the foundation's work in spreading access to quality education and removing barriers that keep children from attending school. Today, there are 250 million children out of school. And what do we mean by our work in removing barriers? What do these barriers look like? As you look at these words, you might even feel the weight and burden many children and parents face when attempting to escape the poverty they inherit. But that's where we come in. Here are just a few of the examples throughout the world of ways that we remove these barriers that are connected to local context. So in Mexico, for example, we give support in Chiapas, Mexico's poorest state. This is an indigenous location where 80% of children go to bed hungry. and over 60% of children drop out of school before they even reach high school. So we provide scholarship stipends to offset the burdensome costs of keeping children in school for families who are living in a $2 to $3 a day economy. In India, we've supported education for girls in a location where 6 out of 10 girls will drop out of school to become child brides, enter into child marriages. This is a state that ranks 27 out of 30 for female vulnerability in India. In Uganda, we've supported with removing jigger parasites from the feet of children. These are crippling parasites that keep kids from walking, playing, and being able to go to school. And with your help, our partnership Soul Hope has removed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of jiggers from children's feet. And here in Utah, we work with a charter school in West Valley. This is where most of the students score an average of 4 to 8 on the Adverse Childhood Experiences quiz. What this is a test where if you say yes to answers, you're especially susceptible to trauma and hardship. These are questions like, have you experienced caregiver violence or caregiver addiction? Do you have family members who are in prison? Have you experienced homelessness as a child, abuse, trauma? This trauma makes it so children have an especially harder time to graduate. In some cases, high rates of this can decrease life expectancy by up to 20 years. And we have actually also supported education in Afghanistan, a country consistently ranked as the worst place to be born if you're a girl, a place where abuses against women and girls are rarely criminalized. 80% of women are illiterate. Between 70 and 80% are in forced marriages. 80% of suicides happen by women, and still today holds one of the worst maternal mortality rates in the world. Interesting story about this project. I wasn't hired long at Young Living when my boss asked if I would pitch to Mary Young this opportunity to support girls in Afghanistan. This school for girls was brought by my colleague Tyler, the only boarding school for girls in the entire country, and we wanted to support it. Said, you talk to Mary. My academia was in this part of the world, so I had a very special place in my heart. And I prepared a presentation. I talked about the Taliban, an extremist religious group that banned education for girls. I explained a little bit about the history. And Mary said, nothing's going to keep the Taliban by going into that school, but let's help them. And so we started helping them. We didn't talk much about it to keep their identity safe. And Mary was right, because in 2021, the Taliban took over the capital of Afghanistan. And today, girls' education is banned past puberty. Girls are not allowed to attend college. But this boarding school was able to be evacuated, and is now, all these girls are safe in Rwanda, where we still keep in touch with them. And then in 2021, we introduced One Voice, a blend tied to the Foundation's efforts to end modern slavery, child exploitation, and protect the vulnerable from losing their freedoms to abuse and human trafficking. This label, as you can see, was designed by a child survivor in Cambodia at one of the Hope for Justice Lighthouse centers. Here you can see her coloring the label. The colors represent to her a transformation from darkness, having her herself been a victim of child labor and sex trafficking, into a hopeful and colorful life of healing, hope, and opportunity. Over the years, we've supported the rescue, rehabilitation, healing, and reintegration of children victimized by this horrible industry. I want you to imagine the process of the rescue procedure. A child is found being exploited at a brothel or whatnot. They're brought into this shelter. So there's medical to be attended to, there's psychological to be attended to, there's the legal court proceedings. Let's make sure that we end the demand by bringing justice to traffickers. There's school catch-up and reintegration. And then there's the process of figuring out, where did this child come from? What led to their exploitation? Where's their family? Can we bring them back home? Or were their parents complicit? Were they completely ignorant, trusting a family member saying, give me your child, I'll take him into the city, they'll get a better education, they'll get a better job? I've had conversations with these social workers that start trying to identify, where's this child's home? As you can imagine, in rural Ethiopia, Cambodia, Uganda, no addresses, these village settings in the mountains, it's quite a task. They told me sometimes our children send us on these wild goose chases, and they pretend not to remember identifiers of where they're from. And I asked why. They said because they're scared of their parents finding out what they've been through. But thanks to thoughtful, expert due process, parents are properly educated and sensitized, and children are brought back to parents who miss them, love them, and care for them. Here are just a few images of those reunions. And thanks to your support, 5,000 children have been removed from their conditions of slavery and brought back home. If you look around, that's more children that could fill this entire room. A couple days ago, I'm not sure if you caught the panel of the Seed to Seal, where Michelle Shin talked about Young Living's affiliation with, or being part of a slave-free alliance. This is an alliance of companies that are serious about modern slavery. And I love this because Young Living is not just giving money, for prevention or aftercare, which is amazing, but we also look in our own backyard. And this is a rigorous 3-year process where we dive deep into our supply chains to identify risks of exploitation to make sure it's not there. Because sadly, with 40.3 million people trapped in modern slavery, it's no longer a matter of if we'll see it, but when and how we'll create safeguards to make sure that none of our products are tainted with slavery. And we have expanded our work in this area to Arctic Canada. Where are my Canadians? This is Arctic Canada, home to the indigenous Inuit people. Now, when considering this idea we've talked about of the lottery of birth, if you're a child born into this location, you'll experience suicide at 10 times the national average. You'll experience child abuse at 10 times the national average. And you have a 1 in 5 chance of living in a food insecure household. And in this entire territory, there is only one child advocacy center, Indigenous ran, serving victims of abuse and their caregivers through the entirety of the disclosure process. And as you can imagine, with cases of abuse at 10 times the national average, there's such a high demand for services, they were not able to attend to everyone who needed help. But with our support, they've been able to double the children and families that they can help. I was recently on a call with one of the therapists working there, and I said, how do you know what you guys do makes a difference? And she said, actually, right here in the room next to me is a young man. He was 11 years old when I met him 5 years ago. We don't think he left his room hardly in 7 years. And because of the abuse, the neglect, and the violence that he lived through and witnessed, I wondered if he'd ever recover. Last week, this young man said to us, "Hey, I will not be able to attend because I'll be in school." And she said, "That might sound small to you, but the fact that he's in school, socializing with others and becoming independent is a beautiful miracle." And then last year, we released our One Purpose Blend, which celebrates the work we've done with female entrepreneurship and empowerment around the world, equipping women with opportunities to better provide for themselves and their families. And this has looked like income opportunities through livestock, connecting their products to market, improving financial returns, vocational trainings, agriculture, and many others. This label was co-designed by this group of ladies, a women's group in Uganda. They say about the label's creation, while many of us have experienced poverty, lack of education, abuse in our past, we have banded together with the unified purpose of providing a better life for our children. And we do see this trend in the field of social development, of the returns when we invest in women. When women thrive, they invest the majority of those earnings into their children's health and education. When women thrive, they find solutions to improve their communities, and this group is no exception. This group uses their profits to fund a small center for children with disabilities in their community. In 2021, Young Living placed several orders of handmade products, items from this group. And because of the large volume, these women opened up contract work to an additional 300 women in their community who would come and work on these items. Yeah. One woman showed up. She's about 70 and was working throughout the day. Towards roughly the end of the workday, the manager noticed her hands started shaking. She said, and then they started shaking more and more. So the manager went up to her, and I know this lady, she has a sense of humor, and she says, "Are you drunk?" She said, "No, I'm not." She said, "Are you on drugs?" She said, "No." "I care for a child that was abandoned. He's 5, he's disabled. We are so desperate for food. I heard I could come earn a few dollars, and I've left him alone all day. He can't even walk." She was now overcome with guilt and stress for having left him alone. The manager gave her her day's wages and was told to return to her child. She let her know, "We have a center right here. You can drop him off. Anyone can. While you go work, he can be fed, he can be cared for, and even medically attended to if necessary." And this story is not unique. For thousands of Ugandan parents living in rural Uganda who have children with special needs, I've actually spoken with many of them in the past, and the decisions they are faced with feel so heartbreakingly unfair. And this is her. I met her last year, and I do have permission to share this story. And I'm happy to share that she's now full-time employed at this disability center. And this is the magic of investing in women's self-reliance and entrepreneurship. We see social, educational, health returns for not just them, their children, but also their communities. And this is only one story of 19 locations worldwide where we've helped empower women with self-reliance programs. In the last 3 years, your mere purchases of these oils have helped us raise $4.3 million. To continue to work on programs such as the ones that I've shared with you. So thank you. Um, not that I have a favorite, but I especially love One Purpose. And I love it because I think it reflects much of the essence of what our Young Living community embodies and what unites us. That we are united by purpose to leave our world a better, healthier, safer place than we found it. And I see this reflected everywhere in our community's commitment to make life a little easier and safer for those around them. A couple years ago, we were approached by one brand partner. Her name is Angie. She's joining in virtually today. And she told us that her husband passed away. She said, "My husband had a lifelong wish of bringing water to as many people as possible." So she made a donation in his honor and asked if we could help bring that to life. I had worked previously overseas in areas of water security and sanitation, and so quite quickly I was able to offer her a collection of slums communities in India that were in desperate need of water. These communities often want to commemorate the donor who brought access to water by placing a plaque with their name on them. So I approached Angie and I said, "Angie, can I have them write you and your husband's name on these plaques?" She said, "No, don't write our names. Write the word peace, so that everyone who drinks water from these wells will drink water infused with peace." She gave a contribution that provided 9 different communities with access to water. And this is a thank you video from one of them that they sent us. And they always say, I could talk for 2 hours on water, but we'll save that for another day. But Angie's only one of countless among our community that band together to make a difference for those around them. I recently heard of our brand partners in Taiwan who came together to fulfill children's dreams, students' dreams of owning a yearbook, who otherwise would not have been able to afford them because of growing up in poverty. Some of you in Calgary have started volunteering at a center for children surviving various mental health, abandonment, and trauma experiences. Our community in Hong Kong regularly serves the blind and helps to get the elderly out of streets. Some of you have traveled with us on service trips to reforest Palo Santo trees and nourish our planet. There are some of you. You've helped us install solar panels at Navajo Nation for families living without light. And thousands of you have stepped in as sponsors to ensure students at our Young Living Academy in Ecuador are now equipped with tools to have a fighting chance at escaping the poverty and conditions that they're born into. And it's been a delight to meet so many of you at our booth. One of you even FaceTime your kids. Okay, you choose a kid, and it was just so touching for me. One of our dearest friends and sponsors, Christy, says, "Sponsoring a student motivates me to continue working in my business, to contribute to sponsorship, no matter what is happening in the world. The opportunity to participate in graduations on service trips make this experience that much more valuable to me." I love the legacy of this foundation because I think in a very real way we understand the profound significance that we are all connected and we belong to each other. And our community does reflect that to me in a very authentic and vibrant way, especially in events like this. And we do each have a role to play in the transformation of our planet. And our thoughts and actions, I believe, have a profound effect. One of my favorite programs is our Scholarship Fund for Higher Education. This was something set up by our founder, Gary. And this is a fund to equip students who have overcome significant challenges, who we know will give back to their communities with a college education to help them amplify that impact. Some of these students are like Muna. Muna was trafficked for domestic servitude at the age of 9. By the age of 13, she was working at a brothel. She says serving sometimes up to 40 people a day. She once heard on the radio somebody saying, if you're stuck in this situation, give this number a call, we'll come help you. She called this hotline. They came and rescued her. She since has grown and healed and evolved, where now she works on the other side of that phone. She's one of our scholars now receiving a master's to help people like her. Muna once told me, I don't regret anything that happened to me because it's made me help so many others. Some of you who saw our dryer balls, some of you won those at our booth. Muna is actually one of the leader of the women who employs women who've gone through similar situations with these skills, and they learn how to sew, and they sewed those little bags, and we were able to employ so many of them through those products, so thanks for supporting those. We also have someone like Ivani, who is a graduate of our Young Living Academy, and she experienced a very tragic corruption, which estranged her from her father. She's now studying law because she's like, I don't want this to ever happen to anyone. We have Jorge, who was our Young Living Academy valedictorian, whose parents are farmers, and he's now studying to ensure higher quality of life and rights for farmers. And then there's Flavia in Uganda, who was abducted at the age of 9 by a rebel group called the Lord's Resistance Army. She was taken into the bush, where she experienced horrendous things, and now is a light to her community, serving other children like her. I was recently asked to be on a panel discussing online exploitation, and while I was sharing these glaring statistics on the reality of how children are victimized online, a gentleman looked at me and he said, you really know firsthand that our world is complete evil. And without hesitation, I said, I happen to think our world is beautiful, and I think it's because side by side the worst of humanity, I've always found the best of humanity. And now I get to ask you to help us to continue investing in some of our very best and continue to ignite others' journeys and invest in these future change makers at our Young Living Academy and act as sponsors. I hope you'll consider sponsoring someone like Jesus, who was born with a cleft lip and has overcome his fear of public speaking to the point where now he delivers public trainings on his community on the importance of literacy in these mobile libraries. I hope you'll consider sponsoring someone like Alex, who even though he grew up in a home with no electricity, no access to technology, he's designed an app that simultaneously translates things into 4 languages. Or I hope you'll consider sponsoring Matthias, who after having lost his mom, he developed his community service project to keep his community safer. All of our students have this pay it forward ethos where they all create these service projects for their communities so that when they graduate, it's just second nature to them to look after each other. So when you invest in our students, you invest in long-term sustainable change. So please, we ask you to continue to sponsor us. Thank you for all those who have. Please come to our booth, have a look at our wall, and on behalf of the 1 million people served by the Young Living Foundation, I want to thank you. And now, Thanks. Now, it is my greatest honor to welcome somebody who might know the Academy almost better than anyone, who's seen it transform since 2009. Please welcome to the stage Young Living Foundation Ambassador, Joseph Young.
It's not how you fall,
You need
it's
this?
how you get back up, and what don't kill us make us stronger.
I understand that Battle of the Bros is a fun and lighthearted competition, but I'd like to share with you where this idea came from and the heart behind why Jacob and I continue to host this fundraiser year after year. Jacob and I always wanted to be a part of the foundation because we both grew up guided by our parents' passion for giving back, and our family was living in Ecuador as the Academy was being built. Jacob and I wanted to be more involved in raising awareness for the foundation that means so much to us. So we met with the foundation team to come up with some ways we could increase the life-changing impact we can make together. There, we thought that a friendly competition would be a great way to do that. But we needed to make the stakes high to give us a reason to make it fun for others to get involved as well. And decided we would risk our relationships with our loved ones and our hair for the competition. I say relationships because, as I remember, Kate was almost more invested in the competition than Jacob was, especially right before their wedding, the year of our first battle. Yeah. While this is a fun competition, the reason we're hosting it makes a real difference in the lives of children in Ecuador. After the Academy was built, my parents realized that many students were coming to school each day with empty stomachs. I've even seen it firsthand how this can affect children, not knowing where their next meal might come from, and I'd like to share the harsh realities of how hunger impacts kids. Data now shows us that hunger and malnutrition rank as major predictors of children dropping out of school. Today, worldwide, over 149 million kids under the age of 5 are stunted, and 45 million are wasted due to undernutrition. Hunger is responsible for nearly half the deaths of children under 5, and research consistently confirms that hungry students are more likely to score lower on standardized tests, have weaker immune systems, get into trouble at school, and have lower paying jobs. Well, not our Academy students. We take their physical, mental, and emotional development seriously, and our healthy meals at school enable our kids to have sharp minds and to grow into the very best versions of themselves they can be. Yeah. This is why, this year, we focused our Battle of the Bros fundraiser on raising awareness on nutrition and inviting you to help us continue to provide meals to children at our Academy, many of whom experience food insecurity at home.
I think this is going to be fun.
I'm a little nervous for them.
Why? They're big boys.
I know, I just feel really bad for Prasad, really.
No, this is a great learning experience for him.
What is he going to learn from this?
How to be brave.
Wait, do we have to do this?
No, you don't have to.
Really?
No, except you want to disappoint everyone in the audience.
You get to do this.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Well,
I need
let's
to do this.
remember some of the rules. So each team had to come up with $50,000 or raise $50,000. And in total, we made it a little spicy. If they raised $100,000, all 4 of them get their hair cut.
Yeah.
And Ben's beard.
Oh yeah, and Ben's beard. Don't forget.
Yeah. Wait,
Where's Arturo?
Where did Arturo go? Arturo, come on,
Arturo.
please.
Arturo, where are
Arturo
you?
Fuentes.
Arturo! Oh no, we lost him. Uh-oh. That's not good. Arturo, there he is! Oh, man.
And my friend.
Had a little costume change.
You're part of this. You can't run off.
I know, but you know what? I'm kind of missing our other team members. Should we call them on?
Please.
Yes.
All right, where's let's give a hand for our Ecuador team, Johnny and Andrea.
Okay.
You know, these guys always want to make an entrance. Oh, here they are.
There they are.
There they are. Andrea.
Pague, country manager in Ecuador, and Mr. Johnny, our academy principal. Thank you for being here.
Well, they don't want to miss out on all this fun.
And of course, there's the rest of our foundation staff here at headquarters. Tyler, Kayla, and Megan. You guys want to join us on stage? This is Tyler, the genius of operations and conservation. Kayla, growth marketing manager. And we have our special projects. Megan.
Thank you, thank you. Our
How about we
foundation.
bring out the teams?
Yes.
Think we're ready for them?
I think we're ready.
Let's bring out the teams.
What's up, bro? What's
How
up,
you
bro?
doing? How you
I'm
doing?
doing good. How you doing?
How you doing?
Man,
Yeah?
how's the air down there? Huh?
It's great. It's actually really
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
How's the air?
I don't know. Bro. Okay.
Okay, all right, calm down.
The brothers.
Andrea has watched Jacob and Joseph grow up. She has known them since they were little tiny boys. So this is a really fun experience, right?
Of course.
You can talk into my mic if you want to say hi to everybody.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you for everyone who supported this battle, and of course to our amazing team. Please, a round of applause.
Well, I bet you're wondering who the winner of the team is. Guess what? They're all winners.
Let's go!
And you are the reason that they are the winners. Because of you, you've done this.
Yeah.
Rasad's gonna be bald. Whoa.
Oh.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, legal.
Who are you? What do you want?
I have a last-minute reprieve.
Oh, let me see it. What does it say?
Make sure to show the camera.
Please don't cut my dad's hair. Please. Signed by Maya.
Well,
It's a legal document. It was signed by my, well, it was written, handwritten.
It's not notarized. That
I
means
forgot.
that means you have no legal jurisdiction up here on stage. I think we should invite the family members of our victims to come up here on stage. I don't know who's coming up.
Thank you.
Kate, Maya. Come on, you two. Kevin, Mr. Attorney.
Okay, well, let's have you sit down and let's get this going.
I'm sorry, Maya. Our attorney doesn't have any jurisdiction up here on stage. So what you need to do is hold your dad's hand so he doesn't cry. Okay?
All right, Mary, how about we let everybody choose who gets to go first.
Oh, all right.
Let's do it. Okay.
Okay, let's do this. Clap hard. Kate, you do it. Michelle, you do it.
Okay.
Clap hard for the team that you won.
How about Ben and Joseph?
I'm okay if they start.
Okay. Prasad and Jacob.
I think you guys were louder still.
I think it was Prasad. Yeah. Yeah, let's get this going.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yes!
She's due first. Yep, they won.
How does this manage to happen 2 times in 2 years?
Yes! I need some trauma life.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Prasad. Thank you.
Wow, $100,000.
Yeah, give a round of applause to Prasad.
Thank you so much, everyone. While this is happening, I'd love to ask you guys a question.
Hang in there, buddy. You look great. You look fantastic.
Maya, how's it looking? Bad?
Kate, you'll still love me, right?
Go by Jacob.
Prasad, you look good. You look good. That's a good look.
I don't know.
Jacob. Oh, beautiful Jacob.
Man.
Oh.
Wow.
I
Maybe
missed this.
leave the back. That looks really
Yeah,
good.
wait, can you leave the back?
Yeah, the mullet looks great.
Yeah, we got a mullet here.
Yeah, keep the
We got a mullet here. Oh,
You
it's
guys
so beautiful.
think of all the
Oh,
children
yeah.
that are going to be fed by your dad's sacrifice.
I'm worried about you.
Just think of all those hungry children and how happy your dad is making them. So you need to cheer him on. Cheer him on.
Nice.
Oh, wait. Last time I did it with a selfie, you gotta do it again. For good old time's sake. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, hair. Oh, baby. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Oh, you look so good, Jacob.
Yeah, rub it in while you can. You're losing it too.
Are you getting
I would
used
just
to
like
this?
everybody to know, for the record, Prasad and I did raise even more money than
No,
Ben and Joseph.
No.
And I would
No.
say we did it with kindness and humility.
Get out of here.
So-
No, look, I was raising awareness for Ben, okay? He got a call from his doctor. It's a very serious thing. It's premature balding. It was very serious, very serious. So it was out of love for my heart. But let's do this. Ben, hold my hand, I'm scared. You're gonna look beautiful though. You're gonna look beautiful.
Bald is beautiful. We decided
Also,
bald
wait.
is beautiful.
Oh, and the beard's gone. I don't think I've ever seen you without a beard.
You notice my kids
Still
aren't
really
here?
handsome.
You heard my wife yesterday. It's true. I'm not
She
sure.
looks
I
really
might need
handsome.
to stay at your place
Okay,
for
yeah.
a couple of weeks.
Couple weeks.
Okay,
Maya,
months.
you don't have to worry about your dad's
Years? I'm
antennas.
not sure, actually. I'm not sure how long it's going to be.
Maya would call her dad's hair antennas because they always stick straight up. But now he has tons of little antennas, so it's even better.
Okay.
Okay,
You
I have a
ready?
favor to ask.
First time.
Ready or not, here you come.
Oh, yes! Beautiful,
Let's
beautiful,
put the capes
beautiful.
on them.
You're a beautiful man. You're a beautiful man.
Okay, so look, I thought Ben was a friend, but I dearly love that guy. Can I ask we don't shave his beard?
No! The beard! I think we all agree the beard must go! The beard must go!
No.
The beard must
keep
go!
it.
Oh,
Yeah, let's keep it.
Ben, I'm
Should we keep the beard? No? I'm sorry, Ben, but the people have spoken.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Jacob.
You're
Let's
welcome.
do it. Yep. Beer is gone, I guess.
I love you all. Thank you so much for
There
donating to
goes.
the foundation.
There
Ah!
I think it really just added to your sexiness right there, Ben.
Uh-oh, here comes the beard.
The beard! Oh my gosh, it's been years! Wow.
When he goes backstage, it's gonna be a clean shave, right? Wait, the camera's got to come around and get this right here. Hold on. Come grab this. The perfect angle is right here, cameraman. Oh yeah, the half and half. Can everybody see the half and half right here?
This is too much fun.
I don't think it's dragging.
I have never been happier losing at anything in my life.
We're over here also recording so Ben's kids can see this.
Fuzzy Wuzzy back here. I like it. Should we keep the stash? Ben's asking if we keep the stash. All right, all in favor of keeping this stash? Let me hear you.
Keep the mustache.
Wow.
All right, you can keep the stash. You can keep the stash. All in favor of no stash.
Okay,
Well, you
Ben,
gotta
we have to
listen
get rid of
tonight.
it. I'm sorry. No, I think we should. We said the whole full beard.
All right, Ben, what do
Actually,
you think?
wait. Oh, wow. Ben, you look so beautiful. Dad of the Year award.
Oh my gosh.
Very nice.
Whoa, who is that?
Wow.
Woo! Yeah, I think you should have kept the beard probably.
All right. Woo! We're all bald.
Look, better than last year.
That is rough. Look.
All right. Everybody line up.
There with
We all
Jacob.
took
They
a
wanna
picture
see
backstage with hair. Now we need to do it without.
Maya's with Versace. Go. Sneak in there.
I know. So, so when Jacob and Joseph wanted to do this, Ben comes over to me and says, "Let's join it." And I said, "No freaking way."
Thank you.
But look, $100,000 was a stretch goal for us. And if that would mean feeding 350 kids for an entire year, that would mean the world to me, my family, and all of us. And thank you so much for every single donation you guys did.
Thank you.
You should know, though, backstage, Prasad said, those kids better eat well.
True.
Those kids better eat.
I did say that. I said, I hope those kids eat because I'm going to be feeding them.
Sincerely, though, it's been so gratifying to see so many of you show up and donate, be so generous. We didn't think we'd get to that 100,000. Honestly, that was absolutely a stretch goal, and we made it with style, well, maybe without style, but we made it. And we appreciate you so much, so incredibly generous. And I appreciate my brothers in arms here at the fundraiser. People said, well, sorry you lost. I said, no, we all won. We absolutely all won through this. So thank you so much for your generosity.
Hello. Hi. Hello, everyone. Well, I want to thank you, and I want to explain something that is very, very important. Since we opened the academy with Gary, he was focused on giving good nutrition and great quality food to the students in the academy. Until this date, there is no sugar, no fried food, and no junk food in the academy. So this, what you have done today, and all of you, does not only mean that we can have meals for a year for all of our students, but also that you are going to make it possible for us, what we've been planning, that we need to be sustainable, that we can create our own organic chicken farm at the academy. That we can create aquaponics, and that we can create organic, productive gardens for the academy. This will not only contribute to their education, but also the students will work on these projects, will learn through these projects, and we'll share these projects with other schools and with their communities. So thank you, and thank you all.
I just want to thank you all for everything that you do, for the impact that you're creating around the world. And I think I can say this with great confidence, that no other company in the world makes a bigger impact to the children than Young Living, and that's all because of you. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Maya, do you want to say something?
Thank you for feeding all the kids for a year.
Well, should we head backstage and go actually clean up and, make sure it's cut correctly? I can feel a few patches back here that still need to be trimmed, but...
Let's do it.
All right.
Thank
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for supporting your dad.
Today will be a very good day for a good day.
It's amazing, isn't it? I have to ask myself as I watch this, what other company has executive leadership that would allow themselves to stand on stage and have their hair shaved off for the sake of a few dollars? There was so much fun competition that their own competition created their hair loss for all four of them. Oh my goodness gracious. This has been a really spectacular convention. And as I sit down here, I guess John really did me in, because it's always hard for me to watch those videos, and especially the last one with Gary, because I knew how much pain he was in when he made that video. And it was only like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks after he made that video that he had the first stroke. And that was in January. And then in May, he had the second stroke, which totally took his whole brain. And it was really hard because it brings back all those memories for me. Then Luba comes out on stage, and she talks about Nova Vita and the farms. To me, what John and Luba did was the greatest tribute that I could imagine to Gary, because his great love was the farms, and he knew how important the farms were to us as our foundation. And I remember when we were walking around out of the farm, and there was this weed patch area, and he said, "Mary, I'm going to bring Nova Vita out here." And I said, "Why? Nobody will come out here. Gary, that's crazy." And he said, "Well, Guayaquil is so polluted. The air is so bad, and there's so much traffic. It is not a good healing environment. I want people to be out here where they can enjoy the beautiful fresh air, the magnificent surrounding, and when you're there, it's like you're completely cut off from the world. You don't have any sense of the city when you're at the farm, and it is spectacular." And he said, "I want people to come here and enjoy that so that they can heal in a peaceful environment." Well, this is what happened. We built Nova Vita, and we started. And he wanted you to come. He wanted you, our members, people from around the world. He wanted you to come and enjoy and experience what he dreamed you would experience. But it was hard going because, in all honesty, we did not have the support from the corporate office. It was too much money. It was costing Young Living too much money. It was too far away. Nobody would go there. But Gary had this dream. After Gary passed, Nova Vita kind of dwindled. The building wasn't built very well. It was dilapidated in many areas. We didn't have a place for people to stay. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And I'm all alone down there. And of course, when you go to Finca, everything you see is Gary. Everything. Everything was his vision. I was just his sidekick that walked around with him and let him tell me about his great vision. It's like he said, "Mary, can't you see the beautiful fields?" And I'd say, "No." And when we were in the middle of the jungle and he had to swath a path with the machete to even get down in there, and we're down in the middle. You saw the picture of the jungle. And we're down there in the middle, and he says, "Mary, where should we build a distillery?" And I looked at him like, "You gotta be kidding me." And I went just like this. "Over there." And he built it exactly there. So when you go to Finca and you stand at the distillery and you look out at the jungle, I mean, the reservoir was not there. That's probably somewhere where we were standing. But you just think about that, because everything I'm telling you is exactly how it happened. So I'm walking around, going down the path, kicking rocks, looking at the vegetation, looking up at the jungle, looking at this old building, and thinking, what shall I do? Gary wasn't there. We didn't have his magnificent brain and his knowledge of the body and health to help the people who would come. And I just closed my eyes and I thought about it, and I said to myself, I cannot let Gary's dream die. This was his dream. And so I said to myself, I'm going to rebuild it. And we're going to create a beautiful spa where people can come and have the experience of raindrop, facial massage, all the beautiful things that we do down there. So we got the plans. Well, we got an architect. He came out, he redrew. I changed many things. Samira, who at the time was overseeing the spa had many Zoom calls, and we changed things. And I said, we have to have bungalows. We have to have a place for people to come and sleep. This guy, this architect, made 16 different, what should I say, cabanas. And the price was pretty high. And I said, no, this is not what I want. And I scratched what he had designed, and I said, this is what I want. And I redrew it, and I cut from 16 to 8. But they're like little duplexes. But they are so beautiful. It is so magnificent. And as Luba talked about all the things that we're doing down there, I could see Gary's vision coming to life. And I thought to myself, he would be so happy to see all of you come and enjoy what his vision was. The people down there, they're waiting for you. They love you. They love to have you come. They all are studying and learning English so they can speak with you. It is exactly like Luba said, it's magnificent. So please come and take advantage and be part of that vision, and let's take it to the world and let people know what we have down there. I'm sitting down there next to Kelly. I'm watching John up on stage. And I want to give a special tribute to Kelly Case, who's been with us for almost 23 years. Kelly, stand up and turn around. Kelly gets very little recognition, but everybody wishes in our office that they had a Kelly. She is the most magnificent, even-tempered, balanced person who has a strong opinion about doing what's right. And she stands up for what's right. She was the one who carried or who slept on her cell phone when Gary traveled because he never, ever took the flight that she booked for him. And she was always changing his flights. I mean, she gives 1,000%. And my life is so greatly enhanced because we work together every day. We sit across from the table in my office from each other. We talk about everything. And she's someone that I can go to and say, hey, what do you think? This is what I want to do. And she'll give me her pros, her cons about it. And sometimes I say, Kelly, come in here and look at this. I need your opinion. She's always there. She always has an opinion. And you know how much she helps you. But she is one magnificent person for whom I am extremely grateful, for whom Gary was extremely grateful, and for whom all of you, I know, are grateful. I have to laugh at John Wetton when he said he didn't know if he had a job. Oh my goodness, that man. I don't know if Young Living would be the same without John. He has the most amazing brain. He's always looking to make it better. He's a wonderful writer, he's an artist, he's spectacular on the computer, and he has access to my computer. So if I have problems, I can call John and he can get into my computer and he can move things around, and the things that I think are big, he fixes like in 5 seconds. And he makes me feel really dumb because he's so fast and I don't even know what he's doing. And he laughs and he says, Mary, don't feel that way. I know you have lots of other things to do. But John and I work daily together. John and I edit together, we write together, and we're doing a lot of editing together right now, things that are going to benefit you. But John is the most magnificent person, and he is so dearly loved in the office by everyone. And if you want to know something, you go and ask John. And I remember when he started archiving, that's not the right word, when he started digitizing all of Gary's old videos, I brought in thousands of cassettes from the house, and we We set them up on my desk in years, and he digitized them year by year by year. The information we have is so magnificent, and it's been cataloged now, and we can type in what we're looking for, and all kinds of things come up. And because of that, I have the ability to go back and take you on a journey with me. I want to share a few of my memories. And when you walk out this door, this convention becomes only a memory. It's all over with. It's gone. Every day we're living, we're creating what become our memories. This is going to be a great memory. But I want to take you back to some of my memories, my first memories with Gary. And you have to remember, my whole background is like yours. I learned this industry building a business out in the field. I had a business for 10 years, and it was very successful. So I know how you think, I know how you feel, I know what you like. Well, I don't know so much anymore because, as my boys say, oh, Mom, you're just old-fashioned. What can I say? I am. But it's a good balance. But I want to take you back to our first convention, 1995. I had no idea what that was going to be like for me because it was a new path for me to walk, being in charge with the big boss. It was amazing. But I remember the numbers were small, about 200 people up in Coeur d'Alene. And my mother was making decorations for the table, and she was setting up the display. And we were so excited that we had 200 people there. So where were we going? It could only be into the future. And look, this was what our distributors saw when they came to convention. Remember the video that they played with Gary yelling and getting excited about the first team? Right there. It was so magnificent. When you go, it doesn't even look anything like that. All the logs are covered with metal and cement, and all those big stainless steel cookers. Oh my goodness, it was magnificent. And of course, St. Mary's, our first farm, and I know many of you have been there, but you just think about that when you go. The first convention in St. Mary's. Oh, it was a magnificent time. Then let's skip. Let's go to 2000. Do you have any idea why I remember this one so well? You see that picture on the label? That came from the pictures that we made down in Mona. Gary's love of horses and the Old West and history, and he was going to have a wagon train. And so we had a wagon train out at the farm. I was 7 months pregnant, and I'm sitting up there with him, and it's going like this. I said, Gary, I got to get out of here. I can't do this. And I got off, and I walked. It was terrible. Well, he had a big surprise for me, and we were staying in the Marriott, and he took my hand. He always took my hand. We were always holding hands. He wasn't secure unless he was holding hands. And we stood at the door, and I was 8 months, a little more than 8 months, and I said, I don't know if I can do this. And I was really nervous what everybody was going to think, and all at my age, being pregnant, and people were telling crazy stories, and there was all kinds of stuff going around because people didn't believe it was possible. Some people even said I just had a pillow under my dress. Ha ha. Oh, thank you so much. Maybe. Thank you. And 900 people who were at that convention knew very well I didn't have a pillow under my dress. But it was a great time. It was a great experience, and everyone was wonderful and kind. And Jacob was born on August 25th, right after convention. Now let's go to 2002. I don't know how many of you were there. Do you remember the Indiana Young? I hope you watched that video on YouTube. Gary was magnificent. It was so much fun. And of course, that's where Believe came. And of course, that's one of our great blends. And I hope you all use it. As I said, we want to diffuse abundance and believe in the office. You can diffuse all the abundance you want, but if you don't believe, it doesn't have an effect. You have to believe. It was a great time. Then 2003, what happened there? Gary got excited about jousting, and he believed that jousting was something new he had to bring to the farm. He was excited. We were watching Knight's Tale at home with the boys, and he looked over at me and he says, Mary, I've got an idea. Oh, and Gary had an idea. Watch out what's coming. But he loved it. And the convention blend, highest potential, we got 2 blends because of that. But just look at him. He loved it. He was in heaven. And he was so strong and powerful in his upper body, and he was a magnificent horseman. And so when he jousted with every fiber of his body. And what happened? My little Jacob now sits big and tall on that big horse and jousts like his dad. We kept it alive because it was such a magnificent dream. He wanted people to have heroes, children to have heroes that they could believe in, not the heroes that go out and get drunk and take drugs and do all kinds of terrible things. Knights who were honest and true, who were the protectors. That's what chivalry and jousting meant to him. To live to your highest potential, to become the best that you can be. That was Gary. 2010. How many were with us when Gary made that documentary? You know, we were in Ecuador, and he said, I'm going to invite the members to come and go with us. He said, Mary, this is going to be so much fun. What? Going to Egypt? Riding camels? Dressing up? Making a documentary? And the boys were little, and I'm going, oh, Gary, no, please. But you didn't tell Gary no. You never told Gary no. So off we all went as a family. And you know, it is one of the greatest memories that we have. And he wrote the book, The One Gift. It is an adventure to read that book. And Gary was so into it. He came home with a story about the cockroach in his hotel room. And it was so hilarious. And I said, Gary, you've got to write more. This is so much fun. That's how the book got started. That book is a fictional adventure about life on the Frankincense Trail. If you want to really understand what that was all about, read that book. It is magnificent. And of course, Gary was true and from everything had to be authentic. Costumes had to be authentic. Saddles had to be authentic. Camels, everything had to be authentic. And you look at him here, these costumes are down in the museum at headquarters. He loved every minute of it. And you know where he got the idea? From the National Geographic 1985 edition, when on the front cover it said, The Frankincense Trail. And all kinds of things were said about frankincense that I can't say standing here, if you know what I mean. But that's what spurred him on, and he went back there year after year after year. Then he took again, I think there were 100 of us who went to Oman. Yes, I know, Jeffrey, you were there. So many, and we loved it. It was a glorious experience. Memories, memories, memories. What great memories. 2017. Fulfill your destiny. Do you know what your destiny is? It's what you make, it's what you choose. It's what you want to take into the future from that first convention. Oh my goodness, did Gary know what he was doing? I'll tell you a little secret about Gary. You remember the dog sledding? And I remember when he told Ollie Wanker that he was going to dog sled. And Ollie named off all these things that Gary was dealing with, which probably started with the bite that he got in the Amazon. He was never the same after that bite. But that terrible accident that he had when he was 24, 19 broken bones, open skull fractures. I mean, he was supposed to die, but he didn't. He came through it. 13 years to walk again, suffering with pain every day of his life from the time he began to get feeling in his legs. And Ollie said, Gary, you must be nuts. You can't do this. And Ollie named off all these things. He said, you might die out there. And you know what Gary said? I can't think of a better way to go. I was like, oh, Gary, you must. But he told me. We had lots of people come to Tabioni. Remember men's camp, and we had all the horses, and people were riding and having so much fun. And Gary would ride around behind the horse trailer to slide off of the horse because it was so painful for him to get off the horse the normal way. I didn't know that. He told me that much later. And he said, when I'm on the dog sled and I'm hanging on have to move my legs like getting on and off my horse. He said, I can still have a goal. This man who was in so much pain, no matter what, had to have a goal, had to have something to go after, had to have something to achieve, something out there that would drive him. Because his body was falling apart. His body was hurting so much. And in those last days, in the last 6 months, he said, Mary, I don't know if I can live with this pain any longer. And I said, Gary, please don't say that. And his greatest regret was, I'm not going to be able to teach my boys the things I want to teach them. But look at the people they associate with. Look at all of you. You all become their mentors because you love them, you uplift them, and you help them go forward because they miss their father so much. But you see them on stage here, you see them walking their father's path. They're creating new memories. But that was a great experience, and Gary was in his glory when he took those dogs down in front of an audience of 35,000 people in the stadium, and up on stage, and those dogs did exactly what they were supposed to do. We didn't have a single mishap. And Gary gave a most magnificent final presentation. It was magnificent. It was his last convention, and it was glorious. So what now? 2019. 25 years young. Another milestone. Oh my goodness. Look at the audience. What a glorious time it's been. What a glorious 25 years. Where's Ben? Ben, I think you need to come out here with me. You've been with us a long time. Tell them what kind of a journey this has been for you.
First of all, I don't know why you're laughing. I told you, HK's been working in the lab. He's got this hair regrowth formula that we're really excited about. Okay, seriously, this is for real. So, thank you. Thank you. What a gift this company has been to me, Mary. I say this a lot, but I started my journey in 1998. I was 22 years old at that time, and I've grown up with this business. And back then, I had zero experience. I don't think anybody would have hired me except for this funny little essential oil company that was located in Payson, Utah, which gave me a chance. And I got to work in the warehouse, and I got to fall in love with oils and who we are as a company. And I can say that back then we were pretty small.
We were very small.
There were 6 of us in the entire warehouse. 6 of us, 4 on the pick line, and then 2 to measure, tape, and palletize
Yeah,
boxes.
I even went down there and helped.
Yes, you
it
did.
It was so much fun.
During the busy times, and we did have our busy times, but there were 6 of us that did all that work. And fast forward now, have you been to our distribution center here in Spanish Fork? They have more than 6 people. Right? We have hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
Not to mention in Buffalo and in Memphis and now in Los Angeles. We have people around the world doing that work. And it's so gratifying to see. And yet I'd say, Mary, the spirit has never changed.
It hasn't. Not for us.
Not for us. The mission has expanded. More people have joined our family. But at the core, the heart beats the same.
It's been amazing. I think we should take a walk down memory lane together. Some of you have walked this memory lane with us. Many of you have not. But you can see the joy and the excitement of all the things that we have experienced as we head towards our next milestone. I'm asking for all of our Young Living staff to come up on stage. Wherever you are, if you're out there in the audience, If you can come, please come up on stage. We don't care how many. Come on, and come fast. Don't walk slowly, move it. Get the lead out. It takes so much work to make a convention like this happen. And we can't do it without all of them. Just look at the people who have made this convention happen. Come on. Look at, come up here. Come up here. Come on. Come on, move it. Moises, up there. Come on. Come on. Get everybody on stage. Come on. Are you going to be here next year with me? Yes. See you next year at YL30.